Olá, amigos runners, tudo bem com vocês? Bora para mais uma live de número 368, o estagiário convida, Canal Run, Robert Run. Como vocês sabem, sempre trazendo o melhor conteúdo da nossa Ultramaratona e as personalidades que fazem esse esporte que a gente tanto ama. Bom, galera, hoje, live internacional, tema BR-135. Hoje a gente vai conhecer o primeiro quarteto internacional a concluir a Brasil 135, Team Sweethearts, San Diego Sweethearts. Sim, estava esquecendo do San Diego. So, good evening or good afternoon, Lenny, Marta, and Michelle.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having us.
And Mario Lacerda. Good afternoon, Mario.
Boa tarde, Felipe. Boa tarde, Marta. Boa tarde, Lene. Boa tarde, Michelle. Muito bom. It's very good to be here with you guys. I just came by to say hello, and now I have to go. So, nice seeing you. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye. Nice seeing you all. Thank you, Felipe. Bye-bye, guys.
Thank you, Mario. Bom, galera, então hoje a live vai ser toda em inglês, live internacional, e eu mandei a alguns grupos um passo a passo, né? Porque no YouTube dá para vocês ativarem as legendas, né? E aí vocês conseguem acompanhar direitinho aí conosco, né? Do inglês para o português, dá para vocês selecionarem a língua, tá? Geralmente eu faço a tradução simultânea, mas hoje vamos fazer esse teste para ver se dá certinho. Well, let's start our conversation first from left to right. So, Lenny, I would like to know about your career background. Was your first ultramarathon in Brazil 135? Tell a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Yeah. So I ran my first ultra in 2019, a race called Palisades. That was my first 50K. Before that, I did some endurance, obstacle course racing, Tough Mudders, that type of thing, a couple of marathons. Really fell in love with trail running, and that kind of took me down the path. Yeah, so it hasn't been that long since I started sort of running a little bit larger distances, and then we'll get into why we signed up for the Brazil 135 a little bit later, but Marta is from there, was one of the first people to route the course, and she's a dear friend of all of ours. So we trained together all the time. So we thought, what a great opportunity to go to the place where Marta grew up and experience running in a whole new country and in a different way. So that's sort of how that fell apart.
Was it your first time running in another country?
Yeah. Yep. And it was, we were very thankful to have Marta there to translate for us. That was a huge help because certain things along the way were unexpected and like road conditions and navigate and figure all of that out on our own. There were a few people that spoke English and could help us translate, but it was really great to have Marta there with us on our team to support us through that.
Yes, you are right. Here in Brazil, we have a few people that speak English here or understand a little, and this could be difficult to the foreigners here. Well, Marta, tell us a little bit about your career background. Brazil was your first ultra marathon.
Do you want Portuguese?
What's it?
Okay. Because they know already. So, eu fiz a minha primeira ultra quando eu mudei para os Estados Unidos em 2006. Lá em 2007, eu comecei a fazer ultras.
Oh.
Yes.
Oops.
Well, she'll come back.
Yeah.
Yes, her son is too rich.
1:35, unexpected weather conditions occurred, and she's being snowed and lost her connection. So
Yes, the condition where she is better than in Brazil 135.
yes, exactly.
Okay. Well, she's back. Let's see. Loading.
Okay.
Let's see.
There we go.
Okay. She's back.
De volta? Hã?
Sim, sim.
Não sei se isso aqui vai funcionar.
Uhum. A sua imagem fica travada, mas o teu áudio tá dando para escutar.
Yeah. Por que você não muda? Muda para Michel.
Okay, Michelle. So tell us a little bit about your career background. Brazil was your first ultramarathon.
Yep, it was first time running outside of the country, and my first ultra marathon. I've been an endurance athlete for a while, but really more focused on things like Tough Mudder, Spartans, and Go Rucks, where we'll do 24 to 36, 48-hour events. So it definitely different. Amazing to do in Brazil. I cannot tell you how excited I was, and phenomenal to do with this wonderful group of people. And as Lainey said, to experience it in Marta's homeland, one of our best and dearest friends. I like to say my sister from another mister. So it was just phenomenal to experience the country, the wonderful people. As Lainey said, there were definitely challenges that were made a little easier with having Marta there, but having such wonderful people on the course trying to help us along the way, and really guiding us was fantastic. Even when you were out there on your own, you never really felt out there on your own because there was just so much warmth and love within the community, and so much excitement for everybody doing the event. You truly felt everybody was really supporting each other and cheering each other on. So it was great to be able to do an endurance event where you never really were on your own. Everybody, you really felt the love and the warmth and the excitement from everybody that was there, whether they were other racers or other support crew or just people in the area.
Yes. This is why I like it the most, the ultramarathons. I am in the ultramarathon since 2019. I did my first, and now I have 17 ultramarathons.
Wow.
Yes, and this year was my third attempt in Brazil 135. In 2021, I finished it in relay with a partner, and last year I just stopped in the 96 kilometer in trying to complete the 8 miles. And this year I was finished in the 135 miles with 51 hours and 49 minutes.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you.
That's so cool.
Yes. I took it 2 days in there without sleep. I just slept 20 minutes. And I faced all the worst conditions in there. So thunderstorms, a lot of muddy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely a lot of mud.
Yes. I thought you faced this one too.
I was going to say, we love the passports because a lot of times when it made us all go back and like rethink all of our races that we had done, because you forget, and when you're asking me, oh, when's your first or whatever, I was like, oh, I just actually looked up all the races, to send them. So that was kind of cool. That was a cool addition. Smart. Fun.
Yes, I liked a lot this idea from Mario. It was fantastic. But I am like an organized guy, and I can show to you here in my phone. I have notes about all the races that I did, the times that I finished it, and I have all this information here. I like to control the information.
That's great.
That's
Yes.
cool.
I wish I were that organized. That's why I love the passport, because I'm not.
Yes, the passport will help for sure. When I was disclosing the link, one athlete came to me and said to me, I remember then because their car was stuck in some place in the.
Oh, us?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. That was me for sure. Like the one section. So we were not expecting, this is way different than any race I've ever done in my life. Like we were expecting a very different ultra. Like we didn't even understand going into it that the car would be following. So we were thinking like, you know, how long is the runner going to be out there? Maybe 2 hours, 4 hours, I don't know, and navigation and all that. And then, yeah, off-roading. Yeah, I had a little bit of experience with that from like years back, but I had no idea. And very different from in America, where you sign all these waivers and everybody's apprehensive to help each other. It was like our car got stuck and everyone jumped out and shoved us up the hill and were screaming at us to floor it. And Marta's translating, thank goodness, because they're like, turn it left, turn it right. And I don't know what they're saying. And it was such a cool experience to have everybody just jump in and help us along. And then at one point, I think we had a section where people were, wading up the hill and then pushing the cars through the mud as they were coming and helping people along that way. And that it was wild. It was really cool. We learned how to take the air out of our front tires. Like we didn't realize that, you take the pressure out a little and floor it up the hill and cross your fingers, hope your car goes. Yeah, it was really cool. Unforgettable.
Yes, but the course in there is not easy, even to experienced drivers in there. It's not easy.
Yeah.
Yes, because when it starts to rain in there, the roads get too much muddy, and in that point where your car was stuck, in the two other Brazil 135 that I made, I never faced this kind of condition. A lot of mud and thunderstorm in there. It was always a course to cars, but yes, Brazil 135 is a race that is always changing, always.
Yeah, we figured that out.
We figured that, yeah.
Yes. Every year, the courses between the cities simply changed. I don't know if you remember about the Morro do Sabão.
I don't know. What was that?
From the second city to the third city. It was a route that we advised the people to not go there because of the mud.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Not the last section, but in the middle. That's where we sent Marta.
Yeah. And we drove around.
We drove around.
Yes. This section, it was always with mud. When you try to go to climb in there, running, you just go one step further and 2 steps back in there when you are running, and every car that attempts to go there just fail. Yeah. But this year, this course didn't have mud in there. It was something hard. Yeah. All the other course was with a lot of mud, but this course that is always with mud, didn't have mud. So
weird.
You just never know.
Yeah, interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Marta was the one that gave to you the idea to complete Brazil 135 in Quartet.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well, so she was actually the original race director. I wish she was in here before. Yeah. So she never run the course, right? But she mapped the course.
Right. I mean, it was before it was even an official race. She mapped it and they came up with this amazing idea. And so, to your point, she did actually map the course, and she had actually hiked the course as a pilgrimage as well. So she brought it up as something that she really wanted to do and wanted to see if we wanted to experience it with her, and we couldn't say no to something so phenomenal. So.
And how did you receive the idea? Did you did you afraid about that?
Yes, and yes, and yes. Excited and terrified and a little freaked out, and
I know.
I mean, everything. It was, it was a little bit of everything, because it was so different for all of us. I mean, not just the fact that for me, it was an ultra marathon, but going and running in a completely different country, not being familiar with the environment and the territory and what the terrain was going to be like, not really understanding how the race was going to be set up. It was just so much new. So it was it was definitely exciting, but it was also a little bit like, a little nerves.
I remember the first time that I was in Brazil 135. I had just 2 ultramarathons, one 60 kilometers and the other 50 kilometers. And my partner on relay, he invited me 3 times for me to accept it. Because I didn't think that I was prepared to do Brazil 135, because the people always freaked you out about about the elevation gain, about the climbs, about the muddy, the thunderstorms, and about everything. And I was just freaked out about. So I took 3 times to accept the invitation.
And now look at you.
Yeah, now you've done it 3 times.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool.
Yes. And how was your training in the US? And Lene, first you tell us a little bit about your training in there. How is your weekly training?
My weekly training, I always try and keep on I love running, so I've always kind of been a runner. So I'll always train during the week, 3 to 4 days a week, 4 to 8 miles, and then long runs on the weekends. And then depending, if I'm in between a race, maybe I'll just pop out for 8 or 10 miles on the weekend. And, now we're gearing up for the Zion 100K. So this last weekend, we did 2 back-to-back 20-mile runs on the weekend. The week before we did a 50K and then another 20 miler. So, kind of typical, I think, and mixing in a little bit of strength, a little bit of stability. But I think going into it, we didn't sign up very early. We kind of we kind of waited till the last minute, and we're like, let's do it, whatever. So, but we just know that we're all we're good at endurance sports. We know we can all endure a lot, and we're all happy, positive people, hence the San Diego Sweethearts. So we're well, we're in whatever, we're just going to have fun, and we're tough. We'll finish. So whatever, So I think leading into it, none of us had really specifically trained for the event per se, but we're always all training. We all train together, and that's just part of our lifestyle.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we didn't have a set plan because like Lainey said, we did sign up very late, even though we had been talking about it for a bit. But, again, as Lainey said, we're always training. So, and we were, we knew we would finish it, and we knew we would be happy, and we knew it would be an amazing adventure. So it was hey, let's do it.
Yeah.
It's all good. Whatever happens, it's going to be good.
Yeah, it's going to be hard, but we're all in.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be hard, and there'll be a little bit of swearing once in a while, but at the end of the day, we're all going to have a big smile on our face and be happy. So that's all that matters.
I was going to say, we learned, okay, so any Americans, if you're signing up to go, if you rent an Airbnb, make sure you find out if they provide sheets on bed. Because I guess maybe typically they don't. So we arrived the first night at our Airbnb, and there was no sheets or pillows on our beds. And luckily, Mario, he made a ton of calls. All the hotels were reserved. There was nowhere left to stay, but the hostel let us use some bedding. So that was our first little experience. We're where's the bed sheets? And you're supposed to bring your own. We're
Exactly. Again, it all worked out. But
It
yeah,
worked
there was that little, well, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
What city here in Brazil did you host it?
I wish we had Marta on the line because I don't
I
remember.
know. I don't remember. It was like, I mean, we were
São
only like,
João da Boa Vista, Águas da Prata.
Ooh,
mm,
I don't remember. It was it was close. It was close though to where the start point. So I can't, but I remember.
minutes from the start.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cute place.
Oh, it's adorable.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Here, Marta wrote to us. Marta is accompanying
Come
us
on in, Marta.
here in the comments.
At
Yes,
least you can hear us.
it was the same city that I was hosted also.
Oh,
Águas da
nice.
Prata.
Yeah, it was a really cute place.
Yeah, it was adorable, but yeah, we had no idea that was gonna happen. Mario saved us. Actually, the hostel saved us really because they let us borrow towels and pillows and sheets, and thank goodness for that. And then
Yes.
Again,
we realized like right away that our race plan needed to be edited because we're used to like running ultras and not really a team of 4. So we're thinking each girl is going to run for like 4 hours and then we're going to switch. And then we show up to the race and we're talking to the other teams. Well, really, Marta is translating for us and realizing that most people like maybe run an hour at most and then they switch a runner out. And we're like, that seems silly. Like we're used to running long distances. And so we said, okay, we'll do half, like first runner go for 2 hours and we'll swap out every 2 hours. So I was the first one out and I ran 2 hours and said, we should do 1 hour. We should switch every 1 hour. So we immediately changed our training or our running strategy.
Yeah, very much gets to the flexibility that we needed to have because again, we weren't familiar with it, and it was great to have all that feedback from the other teams to help guide us, and the flexibility didn't hurt either.
Yeah.
Yes. About the strategy, you need to check the conditions, the weather conditions, and the terrain, and the other things. In ultramarathons, it will always change.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's difficult to follow what you planned. It's very difficult. Marta said to me here in the comments about Michelle had a hip replacement.
She did.
I did. I have a bionic hip and a regular one.
Really?
And it's not really bionic. I just like to say that.
Running ultras, so anybody can do anything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I had a bum hip. I needed to have it replaced. Had it replaced, and now I'm running in Brazil with these guys in amazing territory. So
yes. How was the recovery? It took how many months to recover?
It took between 6 months and a year, depending upon what I was looking to do. They have you walking right away. I mean, I was walking. I had the surgery at 8 in the morning, and I was home at 2 in the afternoon, and I was already out walking that day. But in terms of weightlifting and running and endurance, that took a few months to really start to build up. And regain that strength because again, I needed the hip because my hip was messed up. So my training had slowed down a lot. So, it takes between 6 months and a year. But you're doing things right away. So it's not so bad. You don't feel so your pain is gone. And so it's nice to be able to, not have pain and be able to get out and, do some of the things that you were doing before really fast. So that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. And you didn't feel any pain in this region?
Not in my new hip, no.
Okay.
No, it was good. Everything else was a little sore at the end, but it was a good sore because it was from hard work and fun. Very hard work.
Marta wrote a superwoman.
Well, Marta's the superwoman. He's the superwoman.
I'm trying to think.
And in your support crew, was just you, or you had the other person driving for you or not?
There was 4 of us. So we have another Michelle that couldn't join. So we were a team of 4, and no, it was just us 4. So we had a system down. We diverted from it a little bit, but mostly it was like one person's running, one's navigating, one's resting. And then we have a runner. So, and we just kind of switch. So if you're running, then you go to rest, and then you go to drive, and then you go to navigate, and just kind of circle around.
Okay. So it was perfect.
It worked out really well.
Yes. How many kilometers did you run on average?
It really it depended on the terrain, because like there's so many hills, so it depends what section you got. And so we just kind of started doing when it's your turn, you go out for about an hour. And if you're feeling really good, then you go a little longer. And if you're not, you go a little less. So, if you get kicked out on a hill, you're not going to get as many kilometers as somebody that's getting kicked out on the downhill, and you can actually a runnable section. But I mean, we all were strong. We all did great. The last section, the cars couldn't go. Was it like 13 miles or something like that? So 2 of us went on that one just to finish together and not be alone. So
that was Lainey and the other Michelle, and they did an amazing job handling that last route. They were so fast.
So then, we diverted from the plan again, because then the 13 miles or so before that, we just had Michelle and Marta trade off. So they were just both going, 1 hour rest, 1 hour run, 1 hour rest. And then they both were resting, and we took off. 2 of us took off to run the last section. That was our strategy for the time. And then we also had, we had our InReach, the mini InReach. Okay. And we had 2 of them. So we had one on a runner and one in the car. So like if we needed to, there was one point where we actually were able to, we missed one of the sections, and we didn't know if the runner had passed. So we could pinpoint where they were by tracking them with our trackers. So that was kind of cool to have. Because a lot of the course didn't really have good service for us anyways. So that was kind of nice. But yeah, for the most part, we didn't realize too that for the most part you could kind of follow along, which was kind of nice.
It was definitely a nice surprise.
Yeah, and at night that was nice to have the lights on with the car following behind, so you could really see and not get tripped up. One of the things I remember that I loved was that there was one morning when the milkman came by in his, with his horse, and the milk. I mean, I didn't even realize what it was. And Marta was like, look, that's they're delivering milk on these dirt roads. You had the big canisters in the back. And I thought that was really cool. We would never see something like that here in San Diego. So that was really cool to see.
Definitely.
Yes, in Brazil 135, we see different things. From Águas da Prata to Andradas, the first city to the second city. Did you saw the spiders rain in there?
Yes, we did. Lainey was running, so she probably didn't have a chance to see them, but there were definitely, when we would stop and wait for her, we got to see the spiders and the amazing spider webs and the cows. So that was pretty cool. And for us, we're living in the city, so we don't see that stuff all the time. It was pretty amazing to see the different terrain and all the different animals and insects that we normally would never be exposed to. So it was a lot of fun.
From the first city to the second city, our support crew didn't go because of the course conditions. Was with a lot of mud, and our car didn't go. But your car go to the first city to the second city?
I think that's where I got stuck.
Yeah, I was going to say that's where they got stuck.
That's probably where we probably should not have. We didn't know, and then we're getting updates from other people oh, maybe don't drive on this road or drive on that road, and we're trying to keep up and figure out what we're doing. But yeah, I got stuck. And you were running, right, Michelle?
I was running. Yeah, I was running.
So we're keep going, and we'll hopefully get. But I
And
think
I passed another group that was stuck too. Like there were a bunch of cars that were stuck as well, and it was right where we ended it by the highway where we had to get in a car, and so there were a lot of us just kind of hanging out, waiting for our rides because everybody was stuck in the mud. But it was fun, you know, kind of hanging out there, waiting patiently.
Did you have to run with a backpack?
I think we all had like a little hydration vest on. Because we had the track, we had one. I don't know, not all the teams had a tracker, but we actually had a tracker from the race on us. So we had to pass that back and forth. And then I think we each just had like one small bottle of water with us.
And then the InReach. So it was nice to have the little hydration pack. So you had a little bit of water and your trackers. Nothing big.
Because there were, I forget what section that was, but there was one section where it started raining a lot. So we just kind of took off in the car because we were worried that we were going to get stuck. So we left, I think it was Marta, we left her rain jacket and a couple snacks, and we just like drove ahead because there was all these big steep hills, and we're thinking we're going to get stuck out here and there's not that many cars. So we better just get moving.
Yeah, it was definitely Marta's section. I remember that.
The difficulty in Brazil 135 is this, because sometimes you think, the person will just run 1 hour, but the course take more than 1 hour, and this is difficult to see. And the car don't go through this course. It's difficult to handle this, and you have to change the strategy.
Yeah, we changed our strategy a lot. But we're all flexible, so it's fine.
I can imagine it. And what did you take in the car to eat during the race?
We made some sandwiches ahead of time, and then we had a lot of like little snacks. And we stopped, I think, and bought some food at some point. We stopped and got sandwiches and drinks. We had a little cooler in the car. I'm trying to think if we had anything else.
We bought some candy. We stopped at one of the stores and we got some Brazilian candy.
We tried like all the different Brazilian treats and things that we don't have here, which was fun.
Yeah. So a nice mix of things, and cold water and Gatorade and that type of stuff too. So.
And did you eat the Brazilian açaí?
Yes.
So much better.
Oh, so good.
Or the coconut water?
Both. And we had some of the flavored. We loved the flavor. There's like an orange coconut that was really good. We don't have that here, or I have never had it here. Mango. There was a mango coconut. It was really good.
Mango was delicious.
Yes, that's when I bring some foreigners here to say about Brazil 135, they always say about the açaí and coconut water to take to the race.
Smart. It's good.
Definitely a good decision.
Well, now which of you had to face the rain most?
I don't know.
That's a tough question because it rained so much.
I think we were wet the whole time. Well, Michelle, you got a long section, but you were like loving it. So
oh my gosh, I was
longer than.
Yeah, I mean, it was at one point the skies opened up and stuff was blowing all over, and it was just crazy. But I love that weather for whether I'm out, running or rucking or just walking, and so it was like I was so happy. But it was but we all experienced a nice amount of rain. Marta got a lot of rain as well because she had a longer section where we couldn't go from with the car, and so she had quite a bit of rain as well. But everybody got their fair share of the rain.
We miss it though. In San Diego, it's been raining a lot, but it's cold rain and it's awful because you just are cold and wet. It's
there.
So more nice.
Yeah, on the trails in Brazil, it was like welcomed. It was like, oh, this is awesome.
Kind of felt nice.
It felt fantastic. Yeah.
Yes, Marta wrote here that was Marta and Mesa who faced it.
Yeah.
the rain more.
I mean, luckily too, like we're all like obstacle course racers from the start. So like we love mud. So that wasn't like a thing for us. We're like, oh, bring it on.
I know. We're like, oh, mud.
But our rental car, woo, it was like totally brown. The whole inside, you're like, it was
We're like, yikes.
but we wiped it off and sent it back and they took it. So
all good.
There was some athletes. I think they was sharing a rental car, and from Estiva to Consolação, they simply had problems with their four tires. Their four tires just burst away.
oh my God. That's
Oh my God.
That's
That's
awful.
horrible.
What'd they do?
Yes.
They finish?
And they had to continue the race without the support crew.
Oh, wow.
Did they
Yes.
finish? That's cool. I mean, that's awful, but awesome that they kept going.
Yeah, no kidding. That's great.
That really changes it up for sure.
I know.
And my rental car, the color is white. Was white.
Yeah.
So
When it started.
when I came to my home city, I needed to took it to wash. And when I when I delivered the car, I was just praying that the person that was doing the check just didn't check the engine, because the engine was with lots of mud.
Oh,
Totally.
yikes.
Yeah.
And it was not possible to clean the engine.
Yeah. Oh my.
I was just praying about that. What was the part that you think was the most difficult in Brazil 135?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a difficult question.
I don't know if there's one part that was like most difficult. I think we're such a good team that we always make everything fun.
Mhm.
So like even when, we got stuck and I was like scared for a minute, as soon as like everyone jumped in and was like pushing the car, it was like, okay, cool. Like we're in this, I mean, there's a lot of hills, a lot of climbing, but we're kind of used to that. We trained for that and the mud too. So it was a hard course, but we're always just in it to have fun. We're not like super competitive, and we had a good time and we came in third. So that was kind
Yes.
of cool.
Yay.
Bonus. Which
You were the third with an amazing time. 34 hours and 30 minutes was an amazing time for the first time.
thanks.
Thank you.
When I did on relay, we took 36 hours and 52 minutes to complete.
You did it with two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
For me, the worst part in Brazil 135 is called Pantano dos Teodoros. Marta also said this.
Marta knows.
Yes. Because she said that she did the Pantano under thunderstorm.
That was
Oh, that's when we got that was scary.
yeah.
When the thunder came, because we were like,
Oh,
and then it stopped, so it's fine.
yeah.
Marta, if you're listening, we should do a shout out for the hostel we stayed at, and I can't think
Oh,
of
yes.
So when we finished, oh my gosh, we stayed at this amazing hostel and they had delicious breakfast that they served us every day. They cleaned all of our muddy everything. They like offered and took it, and our shoes and our clothes, and they were just wonderful and warm and welcoming. And it was the best. It was a really awesome experience to have.
It really was.
I can't
They
remember.
were fantastic. The location was fantastic. I mean, beds were soft. I mean, it was just a fantastic, great experience all around. They were wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody on the course too, like even though sometimes it was difficult to communicate with people, like you didn't need to, like you knew everybody was supporting everyone, and people would figure out who could help communicate with us and always giving us tips, and you just felt the everybody was happy and in it for the fun. And yeah, it was cool.
Yes, yes. This is very good about the ultramarathons. I remember in the second section, we found an ultramarathoners that was simply passing out. He was he was missing sodium.
Oh,
He was not with good hydration, and so we just came into him and giving to him a coke,
Mm.
a coke and some medicine, and he just continue in the course. So in the ultramarathon, we always help
Help each
the
other.
other ultramarathoners.
Yeah.
great.
It's a cool community.
Yes, I had not this Sunday, but the other Sunday, I did an ultramarathon in the city of Garatá, 46 kilometers, and I found an athlete that was with cramps, and he was he was first than me, but I stopped and offered to him some things to eat to try to help him. So this is some things that we learn about the ultramarathons, that anybody can simply been forgot.
Yeah.
Well, Marta is questioning here in the comments if I stay at the end in Pousada São José. I think this was the same Pousada that you host after the race.
Mhm.
But I just finished it and came to São Paulo,
Oh,
and I was in a hotel in Campinas before, because I was 2 days without sleep, and
Yeah.
then
Oh my God.
it was dangerous to come
Yeah.
drive.
yeah.
And I was in this hotel, and I almost I almost passed out in the hotel
Oh my God. Yeah.
Well, after 2 days, yeah.
because I didn't have dinner.
Mm.
And I was almost, that was very bad about that. Um, it was it was not so easy. And how about the sleep? Did you did you sleep during the Brazil?
Not really. We each kind of had our little rest time, so you could kind of close your eyes. So maybe everybody closed their eyes for a little bit. I don't think anybody really slept.
Yeah. Nobody really slept, but we definitely did rest a little bit.
Yes, 34 hours it's difficult to sleep. I remember my first, I didn't sleep. Uh, you you are simply trying to 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 avoid to sleep, this, because of the adrenaline and the other.
Yeah.
And did you have some blisters or pains or something like that?
No.
No.
I mean, a little sore, but no blisters and nothing major. So that was good.
Yeah. Yeah. Nobody really, you're always a little bit sore after something like that, but we kind of stretched out and made sure we were like walking the next day and moving around a little bit, and everybody seemed good.
Marta said that she had some blister.
Marta, what?
Had a blister?
I mean, it was really wet, so I'm surprised that I didn't, because usually when your feet are wet, I mean, I felt like we were wet the whole time.
I know.
Because our original plan was, each girl will run for like 4 hours, and then you can change your clothes because you're going to have like a long break. But then we just, we were switching every hour. So you're just sitting in your wet clothes, and it was fine, but I'm surprised nobody got not any like horribly bad blisters, I guess. Or Marta just never complains about anything.
Yeah. Superwoman.
Yes. I had a lot of blisters during Brazil 135. Blisters under my foot.
Bad on the bottom. Yeah.
Yes. I needed to walk from Borda da Mata to the finish line. 82 kilometers just walking. Because if I tried to run,
Rubbing.
it was painful.
Yeah.
And my pacer, walking, he had the same speed than me trying to run. So it was
Walk. Yeah.
Yeah.
it was better
Smarter.
walk.
Then, yeah.
Okay. Marta said to me about the blisters. No blisters here.
Oh, no blisters. Oh,
Yes,
I
because
didn't
she.
think it did, but you never know.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, we were really lucky though. Like Lainey said, we were wet the whole time, so kind of surprised that somebody didn't have something. So we were lucky. So.
Mm-hmm.
But I think still, like, we're used to it just from our like obstacle course and go ruck background, because you're always kind of like in and out of water in your shoes, so you kind of learn quickly, like if you need to pre-tape areas, or wear 2 pairs of socks or a tighter shoe, or so we've all kind of worked out our kinks and figuring out and kind of dialed in, like when you have wet feet, like what's the best shoe for you. So I think we all going into it, we're a little bit prepared in that way, maybe. But
yeah, well, that's very true, because we are kind of used to being wet with the mud, being in the ocean and what have you. So
Yes, the secret is trying to switch the shoes, switch the socks every time you can. But I was with how can I say that? Some bandages in my feet. Yes, all over my feet, and it was kind of difficult to switch these bandages. It would took like 30 minutes to change it. So it was not so easy to change just the socks or just the shoes because of that.
Yeah.
Other curiosity that I would like to share with you is this course, Pantano dos Teodoros. We had the other crew member in our car. It was a cat in the car.
What? You had a kitty?
you had a cat?
Yes. A kitty, yes.
I wish we had a kitty as a crew.
Me too. We would see some kitties and hang out with them for a little bit while we were.
Oh yeah, they found some kittens and we're holding them. But
but we didn't take them.
Was it their pet and it was in them?
Where did you find it?
Yes, when the car was passing in the course, this kitty simply came inside the engine.
What? Wow.
Not good.
Yes.
Oh my god.
And so it started to do some noise, and my support crew, the driver, just came out and pick the kit from the engine, and then take the kit to the other city.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Best support crew right there.
Support crew.
Awesome.
Crazy.
A question here from Aisha Jordan Johnson. How many times did you change your socks during the race?
I think I changed like my pants and my socks one time. I don't know if anybody else even changed.
Yeah, I don't think I changed my socks at all. If I did, it would have been one time.
I remember
if it feels good, then don't take it off. Like unless you're like chafing somewhere weird or you feel like a hot spot or something. But if you don't feel anything, like don't mess up a good thing. Just keep
Exactly.
going.
Yes. Sometimes it's better just don't to mess with.
Yep.
Okay. Well, next year, are you planning to go to Brazil again? 135?
We're talking about it. I don't know. There's so many things we want to do. It's definitely on the list. We'll see if it makes the cut.
Yep.
Well, it will be very challenging.
We heard they're doing a new course, right?
Yes. Because we faced a lot of problems from São João da Boa Vista to Águas da Prata. We had, I think, 3 days before the race. We had some problems with a bridge, if I'm not mistaken now. A bridge that's falling because of the rain.
Yeah.
And Mario had to simply do a divert, other route. And because of that, we had this thing that we needed to go on a ride in a car to the city.
Oh,
And now the start line will be in Águas da Prata, where you were host in Águas da Prata. And then the elevation gain will have 1,000 meters more. Now will be 8,000 meters, the elevation gain.
Boy. Are you going? Are you going to do it again?
I am thinking yes. I am thinking in the 8 miles next year.
Okay.
Because the 8 miles will be very, very difficult. Because it will start from Borda da Mata to Paraisópolis, and then we will need to face other ridge, the Serra da Luminosa. Is other difficult climb to do. Yes, and the 8 miles was a kind of race that I didn't complete in Brazil 135. I already completed on relays 135 miles, but 8 miles, when I tried the first time, I didn't complete. So I needed to complete now the 8 miles to try to earn the cup. I don't know if you heard about the cup.
No.
Yes. I don't know if this is the right term to say to you the cup. I see here in the translator, but it's like when you complete the Brazil 135 on relays, Quartet, 135 miles, 8 miles, and you do the Caminho da Fé to Aparecida, you earn a cup. You earn like a different prize. Yes.
Oh,
that's cool.
That is very cool.
Yes. I will try to earn this cup. Let's see in 2025. Let's see.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
I do love the shirts. The shirts that they have, like they feel really like the material is really nice. It's nice that they gave us 2 shirts too. And the medals are cute. Everything about the race was fun and well put together. I mean, different than what we're used to, but almost more fun, really, because it was a little bit of like figure it out. I don't know, because we'd be like, should we drive our car here? It's up to you. It's up to you. It really felt like an adventure, which is cool.
Marta just wrote here, grau, like a grau, the cup that I say to you.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
About the T-shirt, I don't use the train. It is just in a special place.
Yeah.
Yes.
This one is too difficult to have one.
That's cool.
Yes, I just use it to go to some race, but not to run, just to take the
Wear it. Yeah.
yes, just to take the bib number, or just to do the lives here, but to train. not. This one is very special.
Mm-hmm.
Difficult.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I forgot to question to you, did you climb the Pico do Gavião? The
No.
route that's the no.
Marta was out at that section and they got to her before, so she knew not to climb it. But yeah, I heard, you heard everybody talking about
Yes.
Yes.
so we did not have to.
Yes. It caused a mess in Brazil 135 this year.
But I love how Mario is just, he's so like easygoing and is like, oh, well, it's okay, you know, whatever. Like, then we have 2 distances for this race.
Exactly.
He's very easy and easy to talk to and relatable and not, I don't know, approachable, I guess. He's very approachable.
Yes. And he solved the question very, very faster because he just did 2 classification lists.
Mm-hmm.
One to the people that didn't climb the Pico do Gavião, and the other I didn't climb the Pico do Gavião because I had a live broadcast with Mario 3 days, 3 days before Brazil 135, and he said to us that Pico do Gavião was not to climb.
Oh, okay.
Well, we are almost with 1 hour of live broadcast, and I would like to question you about what is your next plans this year.
Well, Marta and I are headed out next week to Zion to run 100K with another sweetheart, another Elena. And then we're all headed to the Lost Coast to hike, more like a backpacking trip. So that's sort of our next big sweetheart adventure. So it'll be a little bit different, a little bit slower pace, but heavier packs, and we'll camp. And it's this untouched, pristine section of coastline up in Northern California in the States. Beautiful, like sea otters and elephant seals and starfish. So I think we'll start doing a little more hiking and camping and yeah.
How about you, Michelle?
Well, Lost Coast, which I'm very excited about. And then I'm signed up for a Trail Ragnar with a team of, there are 7 other people. And so we're going to be doing that later this year, which will be so much fun. So, and a few other little random things in between.
And are you thinking in do like Badwater 135 on
Marta? Marta wants to do it.
We'll support Marta.
We want to support and crew. So we're hoping she's running a 100-mile race in June. And if she finishes that race, then she'll qualify to be entered in to run at Badwater. So we hope that everything goes good that day and we have a good day and she has a good race and that she gets in and that Mario will write her a letter of support and everyone else will, and we can get her to race and we'll support and crew her in that race.
Exactly. That's the plan.
That's the plan.
What is the index in this race to go to Badwater?
The what?
The index. You need to complete the race in what time to qualify?
No, you have to qualify. What do we say it is right now? You have to run 3 100-milers, one of them within the past year or 2 years. Or something.
I don't know. Yeah.
There's different ways to qualify. There's like a couple different ways to qualify, I think.
Yeah.
And then you're still not guaranteed a spot because it's so popular. So.
Okay. Understood.
Yeah. Yep.
It's hard to get in.
Mario is accompanying we here in the comments, and he just wrote about the animals. If you saw some animals during the course.
Well, we saw lots of cows.
We saw tons of people.
So cute.
What else did we see?
Some goats or sheep.
Cats, dogs, chickens, like lots of farm animals. I don't know if we saw any like wild animals.
Wild cows.
Jaguaros.
Well, 3 of us did go to the Amazon after.
Yes.
So we thought, hey, if we're in Brazil, we gotta, we're all nature lovers. I'm a biologist, and I was like, we gotta go. So we did that whole experience, which was cool. And there we saw lots of things.
Lots.
Lots of, spiders and monkeys and
Snake. We got to see a giant snake and tarantulas and
learned how to use a machete and sleep out in the jungle and eat little grubs.
Yeah. We saw grubs. We snapped on grubs. It was amazing.
Yeah. Full experience. It was cool.
Yes, we have some races in the jungle. That's one of it. I think it was not being made anymore. Jungle Marathon.
Oh,
that sounds cool.
That'd be fun.
And it was in the jungle. I remember that this jungle marathon was being held in the place with the most populous of jaguaros in Brazil.
Ooh.
Yes. And now we have a race in the jungle, a trail running in the jungle. But I always speak with the race organizer, and he said to me that he never saw jaguaros in that part.
That's what our guides do. If you see them, you'll probably be dead. So hopefully,
yeah.
Just some alligators and giant snakes, tarantulas.
Oh yeah, we got to hold it. Our guides caught one, and we got to hold it. It was pretty cool.
That was very cool.
Every experience about our trip to Brazil was pretty epic, to be honest. Like before we went to Rio, we stayed there for 4 days, and then we went to Sao Paulo, and the whole race was amazing, beautiful, like lush and green and open, just so much open space. And then we went to the Amazon for another 4 days, and that was just the whole trip, the whole experience. Everyone was so welcoming and friendly and nice, and the food was great, and it was awesome trip.
It really was.
What food did you like the most here?
I'm trying to think.
Gosh,
all the little like cheese bread.
So good.
Feijoada.
Yes. Yes. So good.
In the last year in Brazil 135, we had some athletes that came here in my live broadcast show, and they said to me that they saw some jaguaros in the Brazil 135 course.
Really?
Because they were hallucinating.
Maybe.
I mean,
I did a race on September of last year, and I didn't sleep very well on the night before the race, and I hallucinated a lot, and I saw too many jaguaros when I was in the course.
That'll happen.
Sounds
Yes.
fun.
That lack of sleep will get you every time.
Because the people like it. The people that live in the city, they like to freak you out. Oh, in this city, in this course, we always see jaguaros here.
Oh man.
And you'll be with these things in your mind, so
Yes.
you start to hallucinate. But this year in Brazil 135, I faced a lot of hallucination because 2 days without sleep, I was like a zombie in some courses, and I was like one of the hallucinations. I was simply going down the Pantano dos Teodoros, and I was seeing the trees, and the trees were like bar and people dancing
Oh,
the trees. Yes,
oh my.
and I
Cool.
was just going down and seeing that, and well, 4 hours now, 4 hours a.m. and the people is dancing and drinking,
At
and
least it was
when
a happy hallucination.
yes,
Yeah, it's a good one.
the cars were just moving. It is terrible to have some hallucinations. It's terrible.
Oh yeah.
It can be fun too.
Yes, and fun. Oh, I usually to say that ultramarathoners have a lot of stories, and these stories looks like some lies,
Mm.
but they are not lies.
Right.
It really happened. Well, Lene and Michelle, so I would like to thank you for this interview, and I am hoping that next year I can know it you in Brazil 135 in person.
That
I
would
hope
be,
so. That
be
would
great.
be cool.
Thanks for having us on. This was great.
This was great.
It was a pity that Marta is not with us in the
I know.
conversation, and Mitchell too,
Yes.
but it was an amazing conversation.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Okay, so thank you and have a nice afternoon, evening.
You have a great evening.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.